because a lot of people still don't consider the flute necessarily a jazz instrument. Or they think that a female is going to play it in some kind of feminine sense instead of a really hard-hitting jazz, aggressive jazz style. And while there's a place for that, you know, on a burning tune on a jazz festival, that's not one of them. I had a rude awakening, I guess, later on when I went to high school at the Interlochen Arts Academy. And I started to learn some lessons there, and then more lessons as I went to college, about the role of women, or should I say the lack of the role of women in jazz at that point. Because Dad felt that if you played well, it didn't matter if you were male or female or black or white or, you know, what instrument you played, you just would get the gig. And I grew up with that in my mind, and then I got to a certain point where I found out that wasn't really the case. And that was real hard. That was probably the hardest thing to deal with as a young player, because I started to realize that there were all sorts of reasons for getting gigs, and a lot of times very little of it had to do with talent.
Is that still something that you feel affects how much work you get, that you're a woman?
It's affecting it less and less, I'm happy to say. But yes, it does. And many times I'm dictated to about rhythm sections. Having a certain amount of African American players and white players, I'm still told many times that flute is not a jazz instrument, it doesn't belong on this or that. And so there's discrimination in terms of what instrument I'm playing.